York, and Kelsey Plum blows the lid off the joint, letting us all in on a small secret. Team Clark, they had no idea what was awaiting them walking into that locker room come
Kelsey Plum crossed the line, big time, and Sabrina Ionescu wasn't about to let it slide. What should have been a celebration of unity at the WNBA All-Star Game spiraled into an awkward press conference train wreck. Out of nowhere, Plum took a shot at Caitlin Clark, sitting mere inches from one of Clark's loudest champions. The disrespect? Off the charts. The timing? Worse. The audacity? Unbelievable.
We didn't, at least as players, we didn't know that was going to happen. So I think it was kind of like a genuine surprise, but the t-shirt, just united front was determined this morning, that we had a meeting for. And, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very...
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis was meant to be Caitlin Clark's grand homecoming, a stage built for her. Instead, she sat on the sidelines nursing a groin injury, forced to watch her spotlight dim from the bench. But the real blow didn't come on the court. It came after the game, when Kelsey Plum, unprovoked and unbothered, took a needless jab at Team Clark, turning what should have been a celebration into a sideshow.
Plum was at the All-Star Game in Indianapolis. She made quite a scene, bruh. This time, at the conclusion of the game, I was one of the first people to break the story about her actually making comments about Caitlin Clark's team not being at this meeting for the CBA negotiations. Now, we know the WNBA All-Stars came out with these t-shirts, pay us.
The WNBA players had just made a bold statement, rocking their Pay Us What You Owe Us shirts in a unified show of strength during ongoing collective bargaining talks. It was meant to scream solidarity. Instead, Kelsey Plum hijacked the moment, turning it into a petty spectacle that laid bare a deeper issue. How some veteran players still can't stomach the spotlight being on Caitlin Clark.
Okay, Women's National Basketball Players Association president. Brianna Stewart, vice president. And Nafisa Collier. All on opposing teams from Team Clark. How does it work out that the 3 biggest players in the Players Association had an idea about wearing a Pay Us What You Owe Us t-shirt, make this decision last minute that this is what the players will do? Team Clark somehow isn't present.
During the post-game press conference, Plum started off recapping the morning meeting where players agreed to wear the Unity shirts. Then, completely unprompted, she dropped the bomb. Not to tattle, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. The room froze. The silence was deafening. You didn't have to be there to feel the tension. It bled right through the screen.
Kind of like a genuine surprise, but the t-shirt, just united front was determined this morning, that we had a meeting for. And, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just, we had a very, that really needed to be mentioned. I'm trying to make it.
But here's what made it downright surreal. Sabrina Ionescu was sitting right there, within arm's reach, repping Team Clark herself. The level of disrespect? Off the charts. So blatant. So unnecessary. Sabrina's reaction said it all. A sharp look of disbelief, an eye roll that could be felt across the country, and a perfectly sarcastic clap back. Because yes, it definitely needed to be mentioned.
WNBA players, they get more unlikable every day. And the blatant jealousy, the blatant hatred towards Caitlin Clark is, it's obvious. They don't even try to hide it. We got Kelsey Plum talking about these pathetic shirts that they wore out onto the court. And I'm going to tell you, these players all put these shirts on. And like I said in a couple of previous videos,
if you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe, because we need to talk about what just happened. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Ionescu's face said it all. This wasn't just awkward. It was way out of pocket. A veteran like Plum throwing shade at players who couldn't even speak for themselves, while supposedly standing for unity. The irony is wild. Now, let's talk facts, because this is where Plum's comments really fall apart. When news broke that Caitlin Clark was injured and wouldn't suit up for the All-Star game, ticket prices didn't just dip, they plummeted. We're talking a 48% freefall in under 24 hours. The cheapest seats dropped from $121 to just $64. That's not a market hiccup. That's a full-blown crash triggered by one player's absence. So if you're wondering who's driving the league's relevance right now, look no further.
Caitlin Clark, she was officially ruled out before all of these things. And look at the news that dropped. This is wild. WNBA All-Star Weekend. It's supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. A'ja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark.
Let that sink in for a second. The get-in price for a WNBA All-Star Game, hosted in the hometown of the league's biggest star, was nearly cut in half the moment Caitlin Clark was ruled out. Some tickets were going for as low as $60 on resale sites. Fans weren't just backing out, they were practically begging to offload their seats at any price to minimize the hit. And it gets even worse. The ratings? Brutal. Nationally televised WNBA games dropped by a staggering 55% when Clark isn't playing. Her own team's viewership without her tanks by 53%, plummeting from an average of 1.81 million to just 847,000 viewers. That's not a dip, that's a nosedive. This isn't hype. This isn't media spin. It's cold, hard proof. Caitlin Clark isn't just another name on a roster. She is the league right now.
Look at that. Prices for the WNBA All-Star Game have plummeted 49% after Caitlin Clark was ruled out due to injury. Per TickPick. I can't say that I'm surprised by this at all. I mean, no matter how much you love her or hate her, Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA. When she goes, the ratings go. Simply put.
Meanwhile, when Caitlin Clark does suit up, the numbers go through the roof. Her return game against the Liberty pulled in 2.2 million viewers on ABC, peaking at 2.8 million. Let that sink in. Those are record-breaking numbers. Games featuring Clark consistently rank as the most-watched WNBA broadcasts in history. She's not just a star, she's an economic engine, quite literally printing money for everyone involved. And this is where Sabrina Ionescu showed why she's so widely respected in the basketball world. Instead of letting Plum's comments slide, she hit back with the perfect blend of sarcasm and timing. But her defense of Clark didn't start, and doesn't end, with one press conference moment. When Clark was sidelined with a quad injury, Ionescu was one of the first to step up, offering advice based on her own experience with soft tissue setbacks. While Plum was lobbing shade from a microphone, Ionescu was doing the real work, building the game, supporting her peers, and showing what true leadership looks like. Because she gets it. Clark's rise isn't just about the fever. It lifts the entire league.
And latest being this viral Kelsey Plum dig, if you will. And I was in the room for this. It did strike me as very odd in the moment when she said what she said. I wrote it off as kind of awkward, but let me play it for you again, and then I'll respond after the fact. This is what Kelsey Plum said about the t-shirts, and you can, Sabrina Ionescu.
But don't think Caitlin Clark just sat back and swallowed the disrespect. Oh no. The Queen came ready, with a clapback so smooth, it deserves its own highlight reel. When Kelsey Plum posted a series of photos from All-Star Weekend, including one of her standing proudly in front of a giant Nike logo, despite being signed to Under Armour, Clark dropped a 6-word masterclass in subtle shade. Thank you for the Nike ad. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Just playful enough to pass as light-hearted, but pointed enough to expose the hypocrisy in neon lights. Plum took an unprovoked shot at Clark, then accidentally turned around and boosted her brand. That's not just wit, that's strategic genius. And the thing is, this isn't a one-off. There's a disturbing pattern emerging in the league, a growing chorus of players who seem more interested in tearing Clark down than building the sport up. The pettiness is loud. The jealousy is louder. And all of it, aimed at the one player whose success is literally making life better for everyone in the WNBA. The irony? It's off the charts. These are the same athletes pushing for higher pay in collective bargaining meetings, while throwing shade at the very player whose star power makes those pay raises possible. Clark's presence drives the ratings. Her games sell out arenas. Her merch flies off shelves. She's not just a rookie phenom. She's the rising tide lifting every boat.